Welcome to the Jones Journal Coach's Corner with head coach Dave Martin. Coach, thank you for meeting with us today.
You bet, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Absolutely. So normally, first heading into the first game of the season, we would be talking about preseason expectations, preseason rankings, a few of the all-state selections, but this is just a different year. I mean, you've been coaching 23 years?
Right.
23
right.
years. How would you compare this year to any of the others you've been coaching?
Matt, definitely unprecedented. And the things that we're using with the kids is adapting because that's what you have to do. I mean, it's every day there's a given type situation that you got to adapt to that is so far out of your comfort zone that you just have to adapt. So I mean that's something that we're really harping on a daily basis is adapt to the situation that day brings.
Absolutely. What are some of the additional measures that you're taking to keep your athletes safe?
Well, it builds a little bit of distance in our situation. We have to in practice at different times with some of our groups. That way we're not all in the locker room at the same time. We have to meet with them in different platforms. We use Flipgrid. Our coaches meet with their kids, sending out videos and those types of things to just be able to do as much social distancing and limit our groups whether it's film study, whether it's install, those types of things. We're using those platforms a lot. And there are some things that you learn about being a little bit more efficient, but it's also that person to person thing that you lose, and that's always hard for that player coach relationship.
Absolutely. And so what kind of things can the fans expect when we have a home opener here in a few weeks?
Well, with the fans, the requirements are going to be the masks in the stadiums. Definitely as you go through the gates and you're coming into the concessions, having those masks on and social distancing there throughout the stands, throughout the stadium and everything. And I think it's going to become pretty common, and what they're going to see at a lot of places as this season moves along.
Absolutely. Well, let's move into this preseason a little bit. This week, the Oklahoman came out with their rankings for Class 2A. Jones came in preseason number 2. In addition to that, 4 all-state selections: quarterback Carson Maine, offensive lineman Isaac Foster, and on special teams Trey Durrell and Elijah Reed. So what kind of excitement is there with those type of things coming into this season?
Well, you always have major expectations whenever you have those veteran teams, and we feel like this year we have a lot of that have a lot of experience. The guys that you just named on the Oklahoma's 2A All-State team. You're looking at 3-year starters there for those guys, a ton of experience that they have at the varsity level, and those things bode well as they go back into our history and in the years that we've had some really, really successful seasons. We had a lot of veteran kids out there, and our seniors and our junior class has got a lot of varsity time under their belt, and that's what you hope, that a team matures into this, and now we got to go meet those expectations.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about your quarterback, Carson Maine. Second year as a starter.
Right.
What sort of development are you seeing from him you expect for this season?
Well, Carson's got a huge ceiling to him, and we really feel like in our history here, we've had some really good quarterbacks come through our program, and Carson is definitely going to be one of the top end kids. I mean, he's going to be one of the highest recruited kids that have come through our program at the quarterback position, and he has all the intangibles. Now it's just him going and continuing on that maturation process of becoming that well-rounded athlete, at the quarterback position. His body has changed tremendously throughout the year. He's picked up a lot of arm strength and foot speed. Those are some of the things that we're really starting to see a difference with Carson out there on the field, because it's going to be hard to defend him as his feet are so much better and his speed and quickness.
Absolutely. In watching the scrimmages so far, it seems like Carson Maine and Elijah Reed have a real special connection. Going to talk about that a little bit.
Well, Elijah is a very dynamic player for us, and he can do a lot of different things. And probably on any given Friday, Elijah's going to have the most speed out there on the field of anybody, whoever we're playing, anything like that. And he's one of those kids that is very dynamic and has him and Carson have got a great chemistry together, and he's able to do a lot of things not only in the pass game but the run game as well. So every quarterback is going to have some of those kind of security blanket type players with them, and Elijah's going to be one of those guys because he can bail Carson out of a tough situation a lot of times.
Absolutely. So let's move on to this week. So the opening game of the season against Bethany. So we're stepping into a team from Class 4A
Right.
that had a pretty successful year last year, 11-1. I know they lost some of their key starters,
Right.
but so tell me a little bit about that, playing Bethany on the road.
Well, Coach Arthur and his staff have done, they're a very consistent program, and that's like I shared with our guys. I mean, those guys have as much tradition and consistency as what we do. But those are the games that you want to play here early on for the competition, but also a measuring stick of where you're at and the things that you're going to have to go and improve on to be able to go win a district championship and have a long playoff run and win a state championship. So you have those games like that to really measure, because you know what you're going to get. I mean, you go out there and you make mistakes, you're not going to get away from it. There's times where you can go out there and it may not be as competitive, and you can do some things wrong but still be right. And this is one of those weeks where that's not going to happen. So I mean, that's kind of the whole faction through playing these guys is we wanted to really get a competitive non-district for the group that we've got here.
And now when you open the season, so because we got this week. Next week, you're going on the road again to a Class 3A school in Lincoln Christian in Tulsa.
Right.
So on the road first 2 weeks.
Right.
Does that change your preparation?
Well, just really putting us in a tough spot. I mean, no doubt. And I mean, it's really the telling our kids, I mean, hey, we're doing, there's always a reason. And, that's what we share with them as coaches is everything that we do, there's always a reason. And we knew that what we had for this team were some very high expectations and high goals set. But we knew we had to put them in some really tough situations. And, opening with Bethany and then coming, and going to Lincoln that won 3A last year, won a state championship in Class 3A last year, and going to their place. And we've had a little bit of a long-standing rivalry with Lincoln, and that was one of those games that we wanted to keep because it's always a highly competitive game, and we like being on that platform there, especially when it comes to sometimes the haves and have-nots. So we're able to go out there and really battle. So we're excited about those games.
Very good. And I'll circle back a little bit to Bethany. So they play at Southern Nazarene University Stadium.
Right.
So is that a good experience for your kids to get to play in a college?
Oh, there's no doubt.
stadium?
I mean, you go into that, and I think it's great for the fans. It's great for the kids to kind of be in that venue, and you start getting those feels of it's kind of a playoff atmosphere here early on. And, the kids get really amped up about it. And I think tomorrow night, it's going to be one of those deals where our kids are very antsy. And, I mean, everybody across the state is. I mean, everybody wants to see something normal. And for a few hours tomorrow night, across the state where people are playing, it's going to get normal for a few hours. And I think that's what the kids need, right now is to be able to go out there and really enjoy and have fun and kind of put some of this stuff on the pause button for a few hours.
Well, great. Well, Coach, in the inaugural episode of the Coach's Corner with head coach Dave Martin, any other thoughts?
Guys, I mean, it's been great having the Jones Journal on board with us. I mean, this is just another step in our direction of our program expanding, and we're very, very happy that you guys are with us, and it's going to be able to bring it to a lot of the folks that won't be able to make it to the games that love supporting Jones High School sports, and to be able to get them out there and still bring that to them is going to be incredible this year.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have here today for Coach's Corner. I'm Matt Boggs, and this is the Jones Journal presentation of the Coach's Corner. We'd also like to thank our sponsors at Go Wireless for the allowing us to stream the games this season. They've been a valuable partner, and so we hope you'll get to tune in with us tomorrow. Thank you.